Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Automation Nation inside Barnum. Um, Today we are doing a product spotlight, and it's actually the product of the month. It is our LioN-Safety from Belden, Lumberg. And today I have Andy, who's our local Lumberg Belden rep,
Yeah,
and we have Tony calling in, and he is our, what do we say, the senior product manager.
that is correct. Yeah.
And basically, what we're going to do is we're just kind of go over these blocks, say how they're used, and we are live on YouTube. So if anybody has any questions live for any of this, we can be typing in the chat and we can answer them. But overall, let's talk about what we got on the table here. And I don't know, Andy, if you want to kind of point at all four of these and tell us what they are real quick, his little intro, that would be kind of nice.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got our LioN-Safety IO blocks that we released Q4 of 2024. They became available and into production this Q1 of 25. We've got a ProfiSafe model and our standard CIP safety. We also developed a hybrid model that is able to work with more of like a two-in-one situation, right? Where you've got your standard I/O right there, and obviously the safety features for both ProfiSafe and SIP safety.
So these are they're based off the Lumberg XSL platform,
Correct.
which has been around for really how long? How long have we been using that?
I would say at least 15 years, right? There are standard diecast form factor with IP69 rating,
Hmm.
with your M12 power on the bottom, and obviously the standard features that come with the LioN-Safety, or sorry, with the Lion Masters, right? We've got your channel selections there, along with your um, all of your other features that are provided there.
Yeah. Now, Tony, feel free to chime in whenever for
Sure,
any of
Cody. I was
this.
just going to add, um, along with it being based off of the Lion X IO-Link Masters, because it is Belden's first foray into safety products, we actually designed it in partnership with safety expert HEMA out of Europe. That way, we didn't want to take any risks with dealing with a safety product for the first time. So we have their expertise in partnership with us so that, we could use our Lion X IO-Link master expertise along with their safety expertise to have a better product out of the gate.
I'm glad you brought that up because I actually was going to ask, is there anything else in the safety realm that Lumberg or Belden has done? But
This is the first.
Yeah, yeah, this is the first exactly, and as Tony said, we realize the need for this in the market, and especially within automotive and material handling, and anywhere where automation is becoming a very prominent presence, or has a prominent presence in on the plant floor. We realize that this is necessary.
I think us as just as a distributor and always seeing these type of products already out there, since we've been selling IO-Link so much and
Mhm.
talking about that, I feel like this conversation as a M12 SIP or ProfiSafe block has been on customers' lips for years already.
Yeah.
So it's they've been waiting for it.
Yeah, the hype that was built up last year was intense.
Yeah, it
So
definitely
for it
was.
to be released and on the market is we're very thankful for that.
So we get with the four blocks we have sitting here. Main differences, obviously, we can see there's a couple different color ports on some of them,
Correct.
yellow and red.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow's ProfiNet, ProfiSafe,
ProfiSafe.
and red is SIP,
Correct.
Ethernet IP, mainly used with Rockwell.
Mm-hmm.
And then the four we have here, we got this one that's all red,
Correct.
and then this one that's got some black on it, and
Yeah.
obviously the same with the
Yeah.
ProfiNet ones. So what, Andy, is the main difference between these two?
Really, it's just the two black ports, right? Those are the standard IO Link ports that allow customers to plug in anything standard, sensors, cables, anything that they need to gather data from and collect that.
Yeah,
So
Cody,
we
on,
take basically. Wait, Tony, were
sorry,
you saying
Cody.
something?
Yeah, on the full red or yellow block, they're all functional safety
Yeah.
digital inputs. And then on your
So,
mix module, you have 4 ports that are inputs. The 2 ports above the black ports are outputs, and then you have your 2 IO-Link master ports.
okay, so we would call this one kind of the hybrid block,
Mhm.
and this one all inputs.
All safety, yep.
So all of them are dual channel safety. Do you know what using either of these blocks, like the highest category or SIL rating achieves with these? Do we know?
Yeah, its SIL rating is 3.
3.
Okay, so it's pretty high safety.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, so rating is 3, and the performance level is E.
okay. I guess with these blocks, is there anything that is, makes one or the other more useful, or are they kind of interchangeable? Different applications for different things. Obviously, we got our demo board here showing our hybrid block and the different ways we can utilize some of the inputs and outputs and the ion link signal coming in. Just
I
from
think
your guys' perspective, already talking to customers, do you see more people leaning towards that hybrid style or using all inputs or?
I definitely think it's
Yeah.
leaning towards the hybrid for sure. I think the advantage there is if you have some system where you have safety, it gives you the option of those 2 ports for an IO-Link master where you can connect a hub instead of having to, get another IO-Link master along with your safety block. So I think that's why you'll see many people use the mix module or hybrid module.
Sure. No, that's a good point. Adding an iLink master with it. So if you did just have a bunch of inputs and you did want to add that iLink functionality, using Lumberg's XSL master in conjunction with just the input block really is probably a home run as well, because those XSLs are pretty reasonable and they're powerful.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. And you
definitely.
guys have really displayed it very well, right? You've got obviously a hub there, but pairing it with all the other products that we provide, like our lumber cord sets, the masters, the hubs, everything even from the software side of things really is a full solution.
Now, on the software like that, I don't know if Tony, you can talk about that. Is there any special software to program these safety devices, or is it just plug into the PLC and anyone who knows how to use it can use it?
We do have a configurator for each, or you can do it similar to the LionX with the web-based, but the configurator is pretty easy to use. And I think it gives similar to the LionX master an easy setup for sure.
Okay. And that's obviously a free software, right?
Yes.
There's not like a
Mhm.
subscription or
Correct.
anything for that.
Yeah, that
Just
is.
a quick download.
I guess when it comes to safety too, really the big thing that people like to flaunt is some of like the ratings and whatnot that you get with all your safety devices. Is there anything special that was done with these? I know you guys said you worked with a company out of Europe to develop them. Was there a special standard or anything that these are kind of they can brag about?
Well, they're
One thing I'll
TUV
add right
Rhineland
off the bat.
certified.
Go ahead, Tony.
I was just say they're TUV Rhineland certified, which allows us to get to that SIL 3 and performance level E ratings.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
In
biggest
addition, we've
thing.
got the we've got the temperature rating of -40 to 70 Celsius. So it's an additional feature we offer to customers that are in those types of environments.
Okay. And then these are IP67, just like the master blocks, right?
69. Yeah.
69.
It's IP67, IP69K.
69,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I guess is there anything with these that kind of stands out against competitors or anything too? Like, do these bring something really new to the table besides IO-Link? The IO-Link ports on here obviously are new to the table. That's an awesome feature to have. Like, we're utilizing it here with our banner, ISD, being able to monitor IO-Link device, plus have safety coming in at the same time. But is there anything else, in your guys' opinion that really sets these apart from a competitor? I mean, first thing I'd say actually is it's a lot smaller than most other people's safety blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, form factor is definitely key for us. It was a beneficial thing for us to keep the same form factor as the LionX Masters, so you can really swap it in and out, right?
Mhm.
Of a cell or mounted on on machine, um, but really it's key to have that form factor.
And Cody, also, the thing I think that sets it apart right now is I believe it's the only block that has communication with the cloud, via OPC UA, MQTT, COAP, or REST API.
Okay, so that's pretty big. So
Mhm.
that communication and that setup, that's something that's been always available on the masters. So that carried right over into the safety block. And what kind of stuff can be sent over that? Pretty much any data that you have on the block, you can send up.
Yeah, the safety inputs and outputs and IO-Link signals, obviously, on the mix module can be sent via that. And if Andy talked earlier about different word sets and product we make to make the whole solution, you can also use this with our Cloud Rail edge device as well, so that you can format that data as well.
Okay. And that's that Cloud Rail seems to be very friendly with that XSL platform. So that stuff's already then configured and set up to work
Mhm.
properly with these safety blocks.
That's correct.
Yeah, one thing that we've been also focusing on is making sure that all of our products are integrating together, right?
Sure.
Whenever Belden has an acquisition, we're acquiring a company to fill part of the plan for our main solution, right? Where
Hmm.
we can be a one stop for everybody to come in and find a solution for their needs and their plant floor.
With I guess with some of these blocks too, having a lot of those other features and being able to mix and match with,
Mhm.
the Cloud Rail, other things like that. From I guess, a sales perspective, is that something that's pretty common that we're trying to pair those with that? Or is that kind of a nuanced thing that customers might be starting to dabble in?
We're really focusing on getting that to be the way, right? Where we're going in with customers and in addition to myself, but part of our other team members from our solution side, we are going in to meet with customers that have pain points or have production issues where we're going to go in and try to offer a solution for them from all sides, right? That we can provide them with all the products necessary, right?
Hmm.
We're not getting away from being a product sales company. We're trying to incorporate all of our products with the customer's needs in mind to make sure that they're all there.
Um, Tony, do you have anything for that too?
I think Andy
I don't know.
hit it right on the head. It's just makes sense with the products we offer to give that full solution, and it allows better integration of everything.
The it seems like, I mean, the excitement around these have been pretty big.
Mhm.
Like I said, people have been already talking about them for the last 6 months at
At
least.
least.
Um, when was kind of like the official drop on these where people could actually order them? Like, because obviously we have them in stock already here at
Yep.
Barnum. Have these been in circulation for, just a couple weeks, or have they been out for a bit already?
Really, the first time you guys were able to order them was December of 24. So
Okay, so
2 months
about two
ago.
months or so.
Um, First batch came in 2 to 3 weeks ago. So, um, yeah, you guys or HH Barnum was the first one to receive our products. Our first product shipment, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It seemed like our product manager and our management and our engineering team has been actually working pretty directly with the engineers in Germany to make sure this product is up to par with
Hmm.
Barnum standards and what our customers want to see, things like that. So any little tweaks or firmware upgrades, or is there a feature we may have missed during the beta release of it? All has been kind of worked through because it's kind of our almost, I don't want to say it's kind of a partnership, but kind of our
Oh, no,
influence
it
because
definitely
our
is, Cody. I'm sorry. It's
Absolutely.
definitely a partnership for sure. Um, I mean, we're very happy with the block and back and forth we've had with Barnum and the ideas through design and then working with our safety expert have been great. But we're already working with Barnum and others in the field to find out what's our next generation going to look like as well, because there are some things we'll have to improve upon. We're sure to keep growing the product base and what we want to do in safety as well. Um, and the partnership with Barnum is outstanding, not only in understanding what the market needs, but also with your guys' capability and your applications team helps offset, and actually gives an extra layer of support in the Americas where most of our engineering is out of Germany. So it's a great partnership.
it seems like our guys always do a lot of the like early testing, debugging, things like that that
Mhm.
usually like little issues or problems that arise with new product aren't found until they're out in the masses and the customers start really drilling into
Yeah.
them. But we have our team that does it for us before it ever sees a customer's hand, which is great.
Your
Yeah, that is
applications team has
outstanding.
really taken ownership of this, right? Where they have gone in and try to debug, try to break it, try to do whatever they need to
Hmm.
do, right? To make sure it's a great product for your customers. And really HH Barnum is a true expert at IO-Link, and that's why there is that partnership, and we rely on you guys to provide us with input so that we can make our products even better.
Hmm. Now, a little on the technical side with these two, um, I know when people are always integrating safety stuff, there's always so many weird little things with safety. Is there anything that Lumberg Belden has done differently with these to make integration really easy? Like, is there a bunch of sample program or code already for these? Um, Add-on files, EDS, whatever, just available to the public to help integrate these right off the bat, so they're not having to
Cody, the
read through a
biggest,
500-page manual.
yeah, because the manual is definitely huge. The biggest thing we have is the EDS files to make it easier.
Hmm.
Those are available. We haven't done any add-ons yet. I believe some of your application team has worked on some add-ons for your customers, but it's not the add-ons are not something Belden has typically done. Um,
Hmm.
we will, we'll look at it and see if it's needed, but I know because of your direct contact with a lot of the customers that Barnum has done a lot of those in the past for our blocks. But what we offer, other than the configurator is the EDS files as well.
Yeah. So we got the configurator, the EDS file, and yeah, I will flaunt our apps group a little bit. They have already been building AOIs for this and testing them. So customers who do get these can reach out directly to their Barnum salesperson or to apps and or to Andy, whoever local Belden
Hmm.
person. They'll probably get in touch with us and we'll give you all that sample code because that's the thing Barnum really likes to do is make sure when you get one of these, it doesn't become frustrating and you're just going to pull it back out. I'll just use the Allen Bradley one because I know how to program that one.
Right.
That's the worst thing that could happen to us, right? Where we get someone so excited about a product and they're the first ones to order it and then it just fails miserably, right? That's why we have your apps team to help us out and really show them and walk them through every step of the way of getting them up and running and working properly.
Hmm. And I think that goes good hand in hand, like Tony was saying, with just that partnership with Belden. I mean, the contacts that we have that we talk to on when we do want to write those AOIs
Hmm.
or work on programming for it are the direct contacts of people who've developed this, or, people who are just overall are probably not the average like tech support person someone's
Right.
going to get a hold of when they
Right.
call Lumberg.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Tony especially, right? Like he's been integral with HH Barnum to really get this product launched, right? He brings in the team in Germany, all the product managers out there, the design engineers, the overall engineers of the product, right? Brings them all in so that we have access to real-time feedback and raw data of
Hmm.
what our product is and how it's being implemented into the plant floor.
I think, I mean, going back to some of the technical stuff as well, we talk about how easy it is to program. Now, do these bring anything special to the table are they faster? Is obviously with IOLink we can get some more diagnostic data. Um, is there anything different on the safety side with these that's kind of a technological advancement, I guess? Do you guys know? Like are these things have a pretty fast response rate or something like that that kind of sets them apart?
Cody, to be honest, I don't remember it being that much faster. I think some of that's limited to what the safety PLCs require as well. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it has the diagnostics for short circuit or safety relevant errors, um, and and can global error bits as well. So I think it's quick and accurate, which is great. And the integrated web server, I think, allows it to display it quickly and clearly. I can't tell you because I haven't seen it from the competition whether it's actually if it's done much more quickly than the others,
Hmm.
but it's definitely done as quickly as it can be for sure.
Yeah, I've seen nothing just in the documentation I've looked at that's like, oh, adding IO-Link slows this thing down
Right.
drastically or something like that.
Right.
And the nice thing too, I mean, this does, like I said, capitalize on the new M12 power. We didn't really talk about that, which is nice. So you get more current out of this. Standard Ethernet cables. We don't have to use some weird X-coded specialty shielded cable or something. And
That's
obviously,
right.
standard M12 ports for everything else.
Right.
And then you got your diagnostic lights on the front, let you know what's going on. I really wish I would have grabbed a competitor block just to show the size comparison on these things. Because I would think, to literally name drop when we go up against like a Allen Bradley block,
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
gotta be like three of those tall.
Walking on a plant floor, you gotta watch out for your shins.
Do you guys get any kickback or anything not painting these things, fire engine red fully?
No, we have not.
Yeah, I mean it's a specific design from one of our competitors, right? So we always look to stand out a certain way and be our own, make our own way, I guess.
Hmm. That has been something we've gotten for a while. Positive feedback is just the lumber blocks alone, the metal body on them, and just right out the box being corrosion resistant and everything has
Yeah,
always been really nice.
Yeah, the
yeah,
zinc die
that's
cast has definitely been a good thing for us.
absolutely.
These kind of are just looking at the side with everything on them too. These are kind of a electrician's um, goal here. They got the pinouts and everything engraved right on the side for all the ports, including the current ratings and everything. I mean, instead of having to pull up a data sheet, having it etched right on the side is nice.
Yeah,
Is that's something you guys have done on all your blocks, right?
yeah, that's been on there, and the technology's been there for the longest time to make sure that all that's included on there, right? Um, I think this safety block has a bit more of an improved or a darker engraving, right, than previous, just because of that feedback that we've gotten from everybody, right? Of hey, maybe it's not as dark on the previous ones, but this one we definitely tried to help out that situation.
Yeah, it catches your eye. You don't have to point it out to someone that,
Mhm.
oh, look on the side, the pinouts there. You know,
Mhm.
I notice it just sitting here on the table. Um, I guess, some Barnum salesmen are probably going to be watching, listening this, from your guys' perspective, like what is the biggest key points to cover when someone's talking about this from a sales perspective?
Yeah, I mean, really form factor is huge for us, right?
Mhm.
Where it's a smaller designed than our competitors. We were able to provide the hybrid model for that 2-for-1 situation, right? Where you don't have to make someone buy an additional block to get a standard IO input or output, right? So it's definitely something that's been a key selling point for us, especially with your sales team, right? They're all professional and know way more than a lot more
Even
than
the ones
more.
that might not be that technical, they sure have quite
Absolutely.
the dugout waiting for them in the apps group there.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's been huge for us, right? You're the dedication that HH Barnum has had to really learn the product and get it, off the ground and move it into plant floors has been great.
I guess is like maybe the TUV certification or anything. Is that pretty common with these blocks, or is that a good flaunt point if you're a salesman?
It's
Yeah.
pretty
No,
common. They have to
yeah, it's
have
pretty common as
certification,
Tony
right?
said. Yep.
They have to
Okay.
have the certification to get, the different SIL levels and what have you. But I would also point
Mhm.
out, continue to point out the cloud. And as Andy talked about earlier, the solution, right? So you have the Lumberg cord sets as well. And if they are communicating with the cloud, you have Cloud Rail and all the Belden products that work together, is a big selling point. And price wise, we believe we're pretty competitive in the market.
I was going to bring that up too, price wise. Just obviously, we're not going to drop prices, but you know, in comparison to others on the market, having a safety block and even a safety block with IO-Link, is there anybody
Mhm.
else that does that
There
currently?
is one competitor that has IO-Link ports as well.
There is? Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, there's just
I
one.
would assume we are probably still coming in at a better price than that type of stuff.
I've definitely not seen anywhere where we're higher at all.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
It's all in the same ballpark for sure. And then of course scale always matters too, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. We definitely took the feedback too that we heard from your customers from a pricing level too, right? Where we knew where we had to come in and be competitive in the market,
Mhm.
and that's what we're trying to do. We're really trying to take some market share here with our CIP safety products and ProfiSafe.
Is there anything, I guess, when someone is selling these two, like we talked about the cloud rail, um, what's like the other big point, maybe upsell when you're trying to get someone's safety block in, what else from Lumberg can we include in that? We got the cloud rail we were talking about. We
Mhm.
want to make sure we're talking about getting the MQT data.
Yeah.
What kind of, this will get someone's foot in the door, or even maybe we're working on something else, getting in cables, and now this was something else that came up in conversation. But I guess what else under the Lumberg blanket does this kind of bring up in conversation?
Well, we always think of it as if you're buying a block like this, you've got to connect something to it, right? So what's there? So there's cables there that we got to connect,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's Ethernet, there's your standard M12 cables, there's data cables, right? That need to be connected to this block, and then from there, right? Where do those go?
Mm-hmm.
Right, you need to get that data up to a cloud, right? So our Cloud Rail product, the Belden Cloud Rail products,
Yep.
we've got our Belden Op Edge too, where it's a switch that we have that can collect data and contextualize it for us as well, right? Then there's all of the Hirschman owned
Mm-hmm.
by Belden switches that are part of this, right? That go into a panel, right? So really, it's kind of a daisy chain of things, right? Where you're going from the block to the cord sets to inside the PLC or inside the cabinet, to your network switches, and then from there you just have all of our other products that fit into that fit into the solution.
I guess too, since these are all Ethernet based, that brings up a conversation of now a customer can, VPN into a machine and see some safety signals.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be some nightmare to get on their PLC to see what's going on. They can log on to a web page of their safety block remotely using a ProSoft gateway.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even with our going back to the op edge, we're going into the anomaly detection side of things, right? Where you can on a interface see where your sensors or motors or any sort of vibration sensors, right? So, stuff like that do have an anomaly, and you can monitor that and have all that data being collected and sent up to a cloud service that we can help with as a third party, but have that data be available to your team or to the plant, and be able to do something with it.
So having these blocks is kind of I would guess kind of a new step in getting that dashboarding and cloud in the safety realm direct instead of whatever throwing in something extra to try to gather that information.
Yeah. The full solution, right? Going back to that, right? Being able to provide everything you need to be able to collect that data and be more efficient on the plant floor, right? OEE has been a big thing for us, where we have pain points from customers that we get feedback from and saying, hey, we're down 40% of the day, right? Or whatever the figure may be. That's something that is crucial for us, where we can go in and help provide that solution.
It's not 100% a Belden or Lumberg thing too, but I think a cool application to showcase that we've been starting to use with this, the fact that we got inputs, outputs, and IO-Link. Our Lensa IO-Link drives have been super cool with this, since now you can control your drive over the IO-Link port, and you can control your STO over the output on this. And then you can have inputs from your e-stop or what else for that. So basically your whole conveyor system or your lift or whatnot is now fully functionally controlled over one block.
Absolutely.
There's not three different things all coming in for that. I think that's a really cool one that we're starting to see a few people use these for.
Yeah, and the verticals we're really chasing here are, material handling, food and beverage, automotive. Obviously, being in Detroit, right? Automotive is huge here. But with the expanded reach you guys have, material handling is really coming up.
I guess kind of not to really wrap it up, but kind of a point here at the end of talking about these is, what kind of kickback do you ever get from customers? Like, what kind of complaints or thing do they say, I wish it could do that, or can it do that? And you usually shut it down because it can do it. Like, is there any pushback you guys ever get that you usually can shut down pretty quick because the feature is there? Or
the initial, Tony, why don't you go ahead?
Sorry about that, Andy. Yeah, Cody, the initial feedback, because we haven't had them out there that long, there hasn't been a whole lot. Nothing jumps to mind off of feature, but we have had people ask about, well, are we going to do a functional safety over EtherCAT? Has come up.
Oh, sure.
Because we haven't offered that yet. It's something that's being discussed on our roadmap, whether we'll see enough of market to want to add that in the next year or so. We'll find out as we get more feedback. But anytime we get anything that, if our block is not doing something a customer wants, thanks to our partnership with you guys, we get that feedback, and then we put together business cases to see what's next.
That's huge. Yeah.
And one thing I'll add to that is, the ability that we have to be able to do that, right? We're a large corporation, right? But we really have small teams working on our products, right? Where we can take your feedback or customers' feedback and really implement that into
It's
our
not
products.
you get what you get.
Right.
Whatever. It doesn't have
Right.
that feature.
Right.
Sucks to say.
We'll always explore the options that are out there, right? I mean, I do it almost every day with your sales team on our lumber cord sets, right? If we need to make a custom with our Alpha
even this
Wire
guy's sitting
products,
right here.
yeah,
This is a brand new custom that you guys made for us.
absolutely, right? So we've got teams available to do these things, right? But we're small enough where make 2 phone calls and we can get input or feedback right off the bat on whether or not we can do it or not.
Yep.
So um, the flexibility we provide for customers in general to be able to create a part number or custom cable or whatever it may be, our manufacturing is really great, right? We have the ability to do that.
For sure. I think the one point Tony brought up about, EtherCAT possibly being in the future pipeline. I think the fact that Lumberg already excels with like their multi-protocol on their iLink masters and things like that is definitely something people latch onto, and they like that multi-protocol. So hearing that there's different versions of the safety, different protocols, and possibly others coming down the pipeline, people enjoy that because they already like the fact, well, if I can buy Lumberg, I can use it for 90% of my applications.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and one thing we've always harped on is being vendor agnostic as well, right? With all of our products, right? We were able to work in conjunction with anything that's already in place, where it's not going to be a rip and replace type of situation, and that gets expensive, right? For customers, it's definitely something that we have taken and tried to grow our products around to make sure that we can provide them a solution without being completely expensive and essentially not a waste of money, but with having to rip and replace, but being able to just jump in and fill a gap wherever they need.
Yep.
Or just
You're
be
not
more
looking to
efficient.
replace a PLC.
Yeah. I was just going to say, or be more efficient and not have to carry as many parts because of things like our multi-protocol.
True.
Yeah, the multi-protocol, and then like this hybrid block alone already is kicking out a few different products in one. Obviously, if someone's looking for a 7 ports of iLink master and 1 safety input, that's not the block for it.
Right.
But for these applications where you can mix and match, just like we're showing here, that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess, is there anything else we could think about that you want to add about these, Andy or Tony, while we've been talking? Anything pop up in your head or see in your notes that we didn't talk about yet?
I think we hit all the important points. I mean, I think the big thing is that it's now available, and the partnership we have with Barnum, and being able to go out in the marketplace and make everyone aware, I think, is the biggest thing right now.
Yeah, and adding on to Tony, right, the commitment that Barnum has made to keep these in stock and have them on the shelf readily available, right? Because worst thing we could do is go out and pitch it to a customer and then it's
gonna be 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. That's not our lead time, just for the record, but
well, yeah, not to put you guys on the spot for lead times, but if there's some crazy reason someone decides to buy every single one that Barnum has in stock, these are normal production right now, right?
Correct.
Average lead
That's
times.
correct.
They're not some specialty item.
Correct.
No, they're not specialty at all. Yeah, the lead time, because it's coming out of Germany, is probably in the 8-week range currently, but we're working to get it down.
Yeah, and that's, I think Barnum makes sure to prep for that ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Ordering them on a normal schedule so we don't have to wait.
It's a big investment, right? To keep them on the shelf and readily available. So Barnum has been great about that. taking that initial investment to make sure they're stocked is key for everybody.
Yeah, hopefully, if there's ever an issue getting components or whatnot like that, we don't have to go corner people in alleyways to get our safety blocks like we did a few years ago.
Yeah.
Those were different times.
Yeah.
Thankful for those being in the past, right?
It changed a few process things for the good, I'll tell you that much.
Agreed.
Mhm.
But I guess if anybody else who's watching this has interest in these things, in Southeast Michigan, things like that, Andy is probably good contact for these. Obviously, your Barnum sales representative is probably your number one go-to.
Yeah.
We got our territory all over the place covering these now.
Mhm.
There's probably a whole bunch of Andys all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of my colleagues, right, we're all assigned our territories and we're supposed to cover them, and we have vast reach, right, within all Belden, within all Barnum, right. You guys are growing so rapidly that it's hard for us to keep up with it, right?
It's Belden, since Belden is technically global, right?
Correct. Yes.
And so if we have customers put these on machines and they go to Brazil, they have support. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
We have quite a few people in the Americas, down, South America, Latin America, Central America. We have a footprint everywhere.
Good deal. And then this big board here that's sitting by us too. If anybody wants a demo of this, reach out to Barnum, because our salesmen will have access to this.
Mm-hmm.
Me or one of my colleagues will come out with this and we'll show it off, answer all the questions. And then if anything technical beyond, what I can talk about or our salesman can talk about, we can get Belden involved, or
Mm-hmm.
obviously the other products on here as well. But again, if there's any interest, reach out to Barnum or Belden. You can even comment on this video. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, try to find a Barnum rep and get a hold of us. But otherwise, I think this was a pretty good discussion on these blocks, and
Yeah,
we're
thanks,
excited
Cody.
to see how these things perform over the next, couple months, since our
I'm
salesmen
looking
seem to
forward to
be
it.
throwing these around like trick-or-treat candy right now.
Thanks for having us on,
that's
Cody.
definitely true.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, Cody. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Like I said, this is an exciting product and big push this month and in the near future. So glad to have you guys on. And
Yeah, thanks, Cody.
hopefully we got some big stuff to talk about in a few months when these things are really kicking it too.
Yeah, would love to see them on the plant floor and ready for support however we can.
We'll probably have you guys on again when you guys got something new and fancy to show off next year for us too.
Love to
That
join
was
you.
good, Cody.
Well, thanks again, and thanks for tuning in to the Automation Nation podcast, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you.